appointment of the Planning Commission for September the 27th, 2023. Let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Bernuti?
Present.
Mr. Griffiths?
Here.
Ms. Gruber?
Present.
Mr. Martin?
Present.
Mr. Willis?
Here.
Dr. Stevens-Gunn?
Here.
And Ms. Goodwin-Dye is excused tonight.
I'm sure everyone has had an opportunity to look at our agenda for this evening. Is there a motion to accept our agenda?
To the chair, motion to accept the agenda as provided.
Support.
It's been moved by Commissioner Martin and second by Commissioner Willis that we accept today's agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. To the department, are there any announcements and communications?
Just one, I'm sure you guys have noticed the packs in front of you. They have wooden utensils. It's from our sustainability office. Just going to be giving those away in future community engagement events. So just a little gift for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we allowed to accept gifts? Sure.
Okay, let us begin by the staff sharing with us some background on PCZR 23-0002.
Thank you, Chair. This is a conditional rezoning of the Cornerstone Plaza Shopping Center on Greenfield between Mount Vernon and Providence, 23633 to 23881 Greenfield, west side of Greenfield Road. It is currently zoned B2 planned business. They're looking for a conditional rezoning with exclusions from the use list for the B3 general business. As you can see here, the current zoning is B2. There's some B3 to the south, so this would not be considered a spot district, but an expansion of the B3 district. The future land use designation is Downtown Development Authority District, which is mixed use commercial residential. The B3 zoning would be at least consistent with that master plan usage. Here's the site area of the existing shopping center. The anchor store formerly was a Kroger to the left there. Here's the existing site plan and survey. The actual, it's flipped. Greenfield's at the top on this one. Greenfield was on the bottom in the aerial photo. They're not proposing any site changes at this time. This is just a conditional rezoning to alter the available uses that they could lease for tenants. Some photos of the existing shopping center from the top there, kind of at the north end where the CVS is, moving through the middle, and then the south corner at the bottom. So access on the top photo on the top is the Mount Vernon driveway going into the site, and on the bottom is the Providence Drive, which actually is more kind of a service access to the back of the building for deliveries. The proposed excluded uses, which would be memorialized in a conditional rezoning agreement, should this be approved by City Council, are funeral homes, publicly owned buildings, public utility buildings, including electric transformer stations, substations, gas regulator stations, excluding storage yards, water and sewer pumping stations, which were already excluded from this district, so not really an issue there. Open air retail sales of plant materials and lawn furniture, playground equipment, garden supplies, open air display sale and display of motorhomes, camping trailers, vehicles other than trucks and automobiles, homeowners, gardening equipment, etc., motels, shelters for the homeless, soup kitchens, sexually oriented businesses, and cabarets, which is another variety of adult-oriented business. So it would be excluding those uses and then retaining the remainder of the B3 use permitted and special land uses as an option for expanded tenants in this facility. We do have the petitioner here to speak on their own behalf. If you'd like to come forward.
Hi, good evening. Keith Mazias with the Nature Companies, owner of the plaza, address 600 North Old Woodward,
I turned it on.
Birmingham, Michigan.
Sorry.
Do you mind speaking up a little?
Sure, okay.
I'm sorry.
So I think he summarized, the request very well. What we're looking to do is just expand a little bit of the opportunities we may have to backfill the Kroger, which left in September of 2021. I think there's really only a few uses in the B3 of permitted uses that aren't in B2, but probably the most highlighted one from our standpoint was the fitness clubs, which, are ideal backfills for the grocery stores and some that have shown interest. So that's really the driver of it. And again, a lot of the other uses, we've excluded a few, and there's quite a few that really are special uses, which means if they were, questionable, we'd be back in front of this board and a public hearing as well.
Okay,
So,
okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
At this time, I'd like to open the public hearing for PCZR 23-0002. If there's any public here that would like to share their thoughts or comments regarding PCZR 23-0002. Given no public showing interest, I'm going to close the public hearing. Commissioner Martin.
No comments at this time.
Commissioner.
It's a good idea, and I support it
Okay.
wholeheartedly.
Commissioner Gruber.
No comments.
Commissioner Willis.
Forgive me for for understanding the language this way, but I believe there was a sentence that said there was, one of the suggested uses was open-air use of plant material.
That was, that is an excluded use. So we've taken your zoning ordinance and we've eliminated certain uses, and the list was provided earlier of things that we will not seek, that were
Okay.
part of the judgment.
That's one that you will not see.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Griffiths.
This was a very nice-looking center, and obviously a large piece of it left when the major tenant moved out. So I'm totally in favor of expanding the zoning to expand the leasability. Moving forward.
Commissioner Bernuti.
I agree with your comments, Commissioner Griffin. Very good suggestion to put this there. I have no comments.
And I, in addition to the other commissioners, think it's a wonderful opportunity, and I wish you luck moving forward.
Thank you.
To the department, is there a recommendation?
Yes, would you summarize it or read it?
Summarize.
Summarize. As on the screen here is the actual resolution as in your packet. The proposed rezoning was evaluated against standards in the ordinance. And the master plan is consistent with the master plan, the B3 with the conditional rezoning and with Northland area development. Sorry, my mic wasn't on. The B3 also will allow for productive reuse and repurposing of the Kroger, which has been vacant for some time, which would not have any detrimental effect on traffic in the area since it was designed for a large grocery store with high volumes. And that there will be, should council follow your recommendation and approve, there will be a conditional rezoning agreement entered into, approved by the city attorney and executed by the city and the property owner, and recorded with the deed of the property at the Register of Deeds, which memorialize the restrictions that are put in place as part of the conditional rezoning.
Okay. Commissioners, you've heard the recommendation, the summarized recommendation. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a favorable motion for PCZR 23-0002.
I second the motion.
It's been moved by Commissioner Griffiths and seconded by Commissioner Bernuti that we accept the favorable recommendation for PCZR 23-0002. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. To the department, can you please give us some background on PSLU 23-0012?
Thank you, Chair. This is the petitioner is McAllister Machinery. This is 21700 Telegraph Road, loaned by most recently used by the Lear Corporation for some overflow space from their campus across Telegraph, but previously like a Sims clothing warehouse. It's in the I-1 Industrial District in the Telegraph Road Technology Corridor, and they are looking to allow under this special land use heavy equipment sales and rental. City Council did at their last meeting pass the ordinance amendment that made this a special land use in this district. So now it is an approvable special land use in the I-1 in this area per that provision. Here's an aerial photo of the current site. You can see where the building sits, the surrounding parking lot and pavement, and the large wooded buffer at the rear of the property. Some photos of the property from Telegraph Road, still in fairly decent condition, needs to do some lawn restoration in the front there. And then the parking surface also needs some maybe restriping, but otherwise in fairly good condition. The current zoning is I-1 with a P parking area in the back where that vegetation is. And then R1, single-family residential behind. This is the proposed site plan. As you can see, they're putting in some gates for control, adding a plaza out in the corner by the north driveway and a piece of public art, since this does meet our public art requirement does apply to it. And doing some updating to the landscaping, and they are proposing some updating to the facade. Here's the landscape plan with new and additional plantings and organization on that. The floor plans, they're doing a bit of interior renovation. You can see the first floor, you've got a showroom, repair shop, interior equipment storage, parts storage, break room. And then the partial second floor, which is only over the front part of the building, has some offices. So the rear part of the building has a higher ceiling. Elevations, they're going to be freshening up the exterior. And then we do have some photos here provided by the petitioner after discussion with the commission at last meeting of some of their other facilities. And I believe there's someone here to represent this request.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Fimbinger with McAllister Machinery Company Incorporated, located at 24800 Novi Road, Novi, Michigan, 48375. Good to see you all again. Thanks for inviting us in once again to talk about our proposed use here at 21700. We'll keep it relatively succinct tonight just based on a broader definition of our planned operations at this facility that was provided at the previous meeting. We did follow up with some photos as requested. Invite certainly still does stand if you'd like to visit any of our facilities. We're certainly happy to open the doors up and have you come pay us a visit and show you what we do. But I'll pause there. I feel like we did give a pretty darn good rundown of what we were all about and what we were planning to do with this particular piece of property several weeks ago when we met. So I don't want to revisionize history here, but I'll pause there for any questions or comments that you may have.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'd like to open the public hearing for PSLU 23-0012. If there's any public here that would like to share their thoughts or concerns regarding this special use request, please approach the podium. Given none, I'm going to close the public hearing for PSLU 23-0012. Commissioner Martin.
I think it's a wonderful idea, dear, to repurpose that area and support it wholeheartedly.
Okay. Commissioner Gruber.
Ditto.
Commissioner Willis. Ditto. Commissioner Griffith.
I gotta say something or else. So we spent a lot of time trying to adaptively reuse big old buildings in this city, but this is the right user for the right building in the right location, so that's good. That's rare. This is a big site, it's a big building, kind of fits your operational plans. Something like you talked before, you really try to centralize. Sound like you're out in the western suburbs right now and realized a lot of your business was close here or within this the center of it all radius that we talk about a lot in Southfield. So this is a good thing. Totally in favor of this project. And this Telegraph industrial corridor doesn't seem like anything can just get approved to go in there. It's a weird zoning part of the city. So this is the right user, the right use, and a good way to use this big old building and big old site. So I think it's a good project.
Okay.
Appreciate the comment. just, I guess, to tag on that, just one little bit, we're excited about the opportunity to join the community here and, help be a catalyst for growth and supply the equipment to do so. So good things to come.
Okay, and I have the final word, ditto. Commissioners, is there a recommendation from the department?
Thank you, Chair. There is. I'll summarize. The first items here are just kind of the general standards. We did find that it was considered in the size and character of the proposal is in harmony with the orderly development of the industrial district. Really shouldn't be, given the nature and location,
Advice, right?
shouldn't be any kind of a negative impact on surrounding uses, especially with that large vegetated buffer at the rear of the property. The character and principle of sound planning, it's an industrial district. It's a good fit, as Commissioner Griffith said, for the property and the location. No substantial impacts on traffic. Telegraph can handle the traffic from a use like this all day. It's designed for heavy traffic.
Okay.
The character use not likely to produce a lot of noise, dust, dirt, or fumes. Their operations, but judging by their other sites, are fairly clean and orderly. Would be consistent with the promotion of the health, safety, and welfare of the community, which I managed to put on there twice somehow. I guess it was just extra important. This approval, based on the documents, facts, and representations put before you. The only conditions are approval of the site plan by the city planner. It's an administrative site plan because in the I-1 district, site plans are administratively approved by the city planner. And then we are looking at hours of operation. We discussed these with the applicant. Open to the customers Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Staff hours Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. because they do need to be there a little before and after customers to be able to serve those needs.
Okay.
That's what we have.
Commissioner Martin?
I believe this is the first time we've seen someone provide hours for staff before and after the service to normal business hours, and I think that's a very good idea, and I think it's nice that they have included that.
Okay. Is there a motion?
To the chair? Motion to approve PSLU 23-0012.
Is there a second?
That's support.
It's been moved by Commissioner Martin and second by Commissioner Griffiths that we accept a favorable recommendation for PSLU 23-0012. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to temporarily step in. Next item is PZTA 23-0004, the zoning text amendment.
Thank you. This is an amendment to kind of rectify an issue we have with the code in that we have an existing public works facility that's been in place since the late 60s at 25501 Clara Lane. Roughly about the same time, the Oakland County Road Commission built their facility at 25600 Clara Lane in the RC zoning district. It wasn't RC zoning when they built it in the 60s. That's a newer district. But the zoning ordinance doesn't currently allow those types of facilities in the RC district. The reason this kind of came to our attention as an issue was the public works facility needs to do a new storage building on its site to take some of its outdoor storage and things that are not stored indoors and move them into an inside storage area, which would be better for them. But unfortunately, a non-conforming use can't be expanded. So we do, working on an amendment here to make it a permitted use in the district, subject to site plan approval. So they will have to come to you with a site plan for approval of these improvements, which will be next month. And we thought at the same time we probably should deal with the Oakland County Road Commission facility, the idea being that, and here's the two facilities, the Triangle facility is the city facility, the one on the north side of Clara Lane is the county facility. Obviously, we want the Road Commission and the Public Works facility departments to be able to do their business and take care of our infrastructure. They're going to need to make improvements to these properties over time to be able to do that. So this will set them up for just having regular site plan approvals for those improvements in the future, as opposed to having to go through this process. Since this is a zoning text amendment, we will need to do a public hearing just to see if there are any comments, and then it'll take a recommendation and go to City Council for final action. So this really is a one note where we're adding, if you look at the language, specifically expanding the old language, which was libraries and government office buildings and public utility offices and post offices. We're adding in other government facilities, including offices, warehouses, and outside storage, to cover this public works type of facility in the RC district. And the RC district is really mainly that area that area of the city right south of Northwestern there. It's not a broad district, it's really just that area, the regional center district. Should have had a zoning map that showed that. But it's really just the area kind of in this part of the city south of the freeways for the most part. I probably want to wait for the chair.
See, the chair is reapproaching, so we'll just give her a few seconds here.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Unlike our last set of zoning amendments, this is really like a single note zoning amendment. It is about one thing instead of about three things.
Okay, where are we?
We're to the point of opening the public hearing.
Okay.
Zoning.
All right, okay. I'm assuming that everybody you've had an opportunity to share.
Yep.
I'd like to open the public hearing for PZTA 23-0004. Given that there's no public here, I am closing the public hearing for PZTA 23-0004. Commissioner Martin.
In our initial review, I believe there was comments brought up about cold storage.
Yeah, the building that they're planning on building will not be conditioned. It will just be like in a kind of a, for lack of a better term, sort of a large pole barn kind of building. It's a prefab building built on a concrete slab and foundation. Heavier construction than you would get for residential, like a commercial industrial grade building.
I was under the impression when you kept saying when it said cold storage, that it was refrigerated.
No.
And it's just
Unconditioned.
unconditioned, so
Yeah.
it depends upon the weather. Okay.
It gets hot, too.
No, that answers my question. Thank you.
Commissioner Gruber.
No questions.
Commissioner Willis. Commissioner Griffith.
Just makes sense to clean these things up when you find them, I guess,
Yep.
so all for it.
And I have no questions. Is there a motion? Oh, is there a recommendation?
Yes. The recommendation, just summarizes our typical, recommend favorable recommendation of the draft dated September 27th, 2023 for the following reasons. Proposed text amendment will amend Title V, Zoning and Planning, Chapter 45 Zoning of the Code of the City of Southfield by amending Article 4, Section 5.28, and Article 15, Section 5.139, to add government facilities to libraries, government office buildings, public utilities, and post offices already permitted in the RC district.
Okay. Is Commissioner Martin?
With the, not impacting the text amendment, are there any other changes scheduled? The reason I ask is because the animal shelter is there and it's vacant. Are they looking at adding or just, adding or
Yeah,
removing anything from the?
I think they haven't really decided on the animal shelter yet.
Just a general question,
Yeah.
nothing impacting.
And I think we would treat that as a government facility, so it probably would be covered under this.
Is there a motion?
To the chair. Motion to approve PZTA 23-0004, the zoning text amendment as provided.
Okay. Is there a second?
Support.
It's been moved by Commissioner Martin and second by Commissioner Willis that we accept the favorable recommendation for PZTA 23-0004. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. To the department, minutes.
To the chair.
Yes.
Motion to approve the August 2nd study meeting minutes and the August 23rd regular meeting minutes as provided.
Is there a second?
Support.
It's been moved by Commissioner Martin and second by Commissioner Griffiths that we accept the minutes from August 2nd, 2023, the study meeting, and August 23rd, 2023, the regular meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. At this time, I'd like to open for public comment, our section for public comment. Given that there is no public available, I'm sure we're not going to have public comment. So at this point, I'm closing the public comment section. Council updates.
Yeah, just a couple of items. The carryout in the existing gas station at 8 Mile, 2020 was approved by the city council at their last meeting, and the public arts and front yards, heavy equipment sales and rentals of special use in the I-1 and maximum lot coverage for single-family residences were also all approved.
Okay.
And interestingly, similar to the commission, the council is interested in possibly consider even going higher with the lot coverage. They're like, why aren't we going higher? And I said, well, let's take this step and see where it goes, and then we can move from there. We were like, well, I mean, we were already going up 5%. Let's see what happens. But I think that may be something that comes back around.
Thank you. Is there any miscellaneous?
Not at this time.
And our next meeting is?
October 11th. And it's likely to be a long agenda. We have like, I think technically it's 10 items on the agenda, where they're just 6 different projects. So that one's going to be a long one.
Is there anything for the good of the order? Given none, I adjourn the meeting at 6:56.